Welcome to Top Rare Coins, your ultimate destination for discovering the hidden treasures of history. On this channel, we explore some of the most fascinating and valuable old coins from the United States. From rare pennies and silver dollars to historic coins worth thousands of dollars. Each piece has a story waiting to be uncovered. Whether you're a collector, a history lover, or just curious about coins you might have lying around, this channel will guide you through the world of rare U.S. coins, helping you valuable finds and learn what makes them so special. Don't forget to subscribe and join us as we uncover the secrets behind America's rarest coins. Or professional and engaging YouTube. Script, no brackets, ready-to-use title. The truth about the 1996 D Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Is it really worth $1.20 million? Imagine finding a simple penny in your pocket, a coin you've probably ignored your entire life, and then discovering it could be worth thousands, or even claim to be worth over $1.2 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, today, we're diving deep into one of the most talked about coins among collectors, the 1996 Lincoln penny, especially the mysterious versions people describe as 1996D with no mint mark. But here's the real question. Is this coin actually rare, or is it just another internet myth? Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what your coin is worth and how to spot the ones that truly matter. Let's start with the basics. The 1996 Lincoln penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Series, one of the longest-running coin designs in United States history. These coins were produced in massive numbers at three main mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each mint typically leaves a small letter under the date. A D stands for Denver, and S stands for San Francisco. And if there's no mint mark at all, that means the coin was made in Philadelphia. Now here's where confusion begins. Many people search for a 1996 D penny with no mint mark. But in reality, that combination does not officially exist. A coin cannot be both from Denver and have no mint mark at the same time. So if you have a 1996 penny with no mint mark, it's simply a Philadelphia coin, not a rare hybrid error. And here's something even more important. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 6.6 billion pennies in 1996. That's billions with a B. So naturally, most of these coins are extremely common and worth just 1 cent in everyday condition. Even in better condition, most of them only sell for a few cents to a few dollars. For example, a typical uncirculated 1996 penny might be worth around $10 or less, depending on quality. So where do these huge value claims come from? This is where things get interesting. While the majority of 1996 pennies are common, a very small number of them become valuable due to two key factors: condition and minting errors. Let's talk about condition first. In coin collecting, condition is everything. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. A coin graded MS69 or MS70 is nearly perfect, with no visible flaws even under magnification. These are incredibly rare because most coins get scratched or damaged during production and circulation. And here's the surprising part. A 1996 penny in near-perfect condition has sold for thousands of dollars. In fact, a 1996 D penny graded MS69 once sold for over $3,500 at auction. Even more astonishing, some reports show Philadelphia coins reaching tens of thousands when preserved in flawless condition. But notice something important here. We're talking about thousands, not millions. So where does the $1.2 million claim come from? Honestly, there is no verified sale of a 1996 penny reaching anywhere near that value. Claims like that are often exaggerated or based on misunderstandings. Sometimes sellers online list coins at extremely high prices hoping someone uninformed might buy them. This is a very common trend in the coin world. In fact, many experienced collectors warn that the phrase "no mint mark" is often used to mislead beginners into thinking a coin is rare, when it's actually completely normal. Now let's move on to the real treasures. If you want your 1996 penny to be valuable, you need to look for errors. One of the most famous is the close AM error. This refers to the spacing between the letters A and M in the word America on the back of the coin. Normally, those letters are spaced apart, but in rare cases, they appear almost touching. These coins can sell for thousands of dollars depending on condition. Another valuable error is the double die. This happens when the coin is struck twice, slightly off alignment. creating a doubled appearance in the lettering or design. These errors can also bring in hundreds or even thousands. There are also off-center strikes, die cracks, and strike-through errors, all of which can increase value significantly. But here's the key takeaway. Without these rare errors or an extremely high grade, your 1996 penny is likely just worth face value. Now let's make this simple. But if your coin is worn, scratched, or looks like normal pocket change, it's probably worth 1 cent if it's shiny and uncirculated, maybe a few dollars that if it has a verified rare error, then you might be holding something truly valuable. And if it's in near-perfect condition graded by professionals like PCGS or NGC, then you could be looking at thousands. But millions? That's not realistic for this coin. Now you might be wondering, how do I check my coin? Start by looking closely under the date. If there's no letter, it's from Philadelphia. If there's a D, it's from Denver. Next, inspect the back of the coin for the America spacing. Use a magnifying glass if needed. Then check for doubling in the text or unusual shapes. And finally, consider the overall condition. The shinier and cleaner, the better. If you think you have something special, the best step is to send it to a professional grading service. That's the only way to confirm its true value. So let's wrap this up. The 1996 Lincoln Penny is not rare by itself. The no mint mark version is completely normal. And the idea of a $1.2 million value is more myth than reality. Today we are diving into one of those fascinating treasures. Imagine holding a simple 1-cent coin in your hand, something most people would overlook or even toss aside without a second thought. Now imagine that same coin being worth an astonishing amount, reaching into the range of $1.2 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? But this is the intriguing reality behind the 1988 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark. Let's begin by setting the stage. The 1988 Lincoln cent, often referred to as the Liberty 1 cent, is a coin that millions of people have handled at some point. It features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, a design that has been part of American coinage since 1909. On the reverse, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol of history and legacy. At first glance, there is nothing extraordinary about this coin. It looks just like countless others minted in the same year. However, the true value of a coin is often hidden in the details, and that is exactly where this story becomes extraordinary. The version we are focusing on today is the 1988 cent with no mint mark. Normally, coins minted in Philadelphia during that time either carried a small p mint mark or were understood to be from Philadelphia if no mark was present. But what makes certain 1988 pennies stand out is not just the absence of a mint mark, but a subtle and rare variation in the design that only sharp-eyed collectors and experts can identify. One of the most talked about aspects of the 1988 penny is the difference in the designer's initials on the reverse side. If you look closely at the Lincoln Memorial, near the base, you'll find the initials FG, representing Frank Gasparo, the designer. On rare varieties, the style and placement of these initials differ slightly from the standard version. This small variation might seem insignificant, but in the world of numismatics, it can mean the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one worth thousands, or even more. Now, let's address the big question. Why would a coin like this be valued starting at around $1.2 million? The answer lies in rarity, condition, and demand. First, rarity. Only a very limited number of these error or variety coins are known to exist. When something is scarce, collectors compete to own it, driving up the price dramatically. Second, condition plays a massive role. Coins are graded on a scale that measures their preservation, from heavily worn to pristine mint condition. A 1988 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark that is in near-perfect condition, with sharp details and minimal wear, can command an exceptionally high price. The difference between an average condition coin and a top-grade specimen can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. Third, demand. The coin collecting community is vast and passionate. Serious collectors are always on the lookout for unique pieces that can complete or elevate their collections. When a rare coin like this appears at auction, it often attracts intense bidding from collectors around the world. This competition can push the final sale price far beyond initial estimates. It's also important to understand the concept of mint errors and transitional varieties. In some cases, coins are produced during a period when designs or dies are being changed. This can result in coins that carry features from two different design phases. These transitional pieces are highly prized because they represent a moment in history when something unusual occurred at the mint. The 1988 penny with unusual design features is believed by many experts to fall into this category. Whether it is a result of a die mix-up or a subtle production anomaly, it stands as a testament to the complexities of coin minting. These are not mistakes in the traditional sense, but rather rare occurrences that slipped through the rigorous quality control processes. Now imagine the thrill of discovering such a coin. It could be sitting unnoticed in an old jar of pennies, tucked away in a drawer, or even passed along as change in a routine transaction. This possibility is what makes coin collecting so exciting. Treasure hunting does not always require digging in the ground or exploring distant lands. Sometimes, it starts right in your pocket. For those who are inspired to start searching, there are a few tips to keep in mind. Always examine your coins carefully under good lighting. A magnifying glass can help you spot small details that are not visible to the naked eye. Pay close attention to dates, mint marks, and any unusual features. Even slight differences can be significant. It is also wise to compare your coin with verified examples from trusted sources. Online databases, coin catalogs, and professional grading services can provide valuable information. If you believe you have found something special, consider having it evaluated by a professional grading company. Authentication is crucial when dealing with high-value coins, as it ensures credibility and protects both buyers and sellers. Another important aspect is storage. If you come across a potentially valuable coin, handle it with care. Avoid touching the surface directly, as oils from your fingers can cause damage over time. Store the coin in a protective holder to preserve its condition. Remember, even minor scratches or wear can significantly impact its value. Let's also talk about the broader appeal of coins like the 1988 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark. Beyond the monetary value, these coins carry historical significance. They are pieces of a larger story, reflecting the craftsmanship, technology, and occasional imperfections of their time. Collectors are not just buying metal discs. They are preserving history. In recent years, the market for rare coins has seen growing interest. Investors and collectors alike recognize the potential of tangible assets that combine rarity with historical importance. Coins like this one have become symbols of both passion and investment, attracting attention from people across different backgrounds. However, it is essential to approach such claims with a balanced perspective. While some coins have indeed reached extraordinary values, not every 1988 penny will be worth a fortune. The specific variety, condition, and authentication all play critical roles. Misinformation can sometimes lead to unrealistic expectations, so it is always best to rely on verified information and expert opinions. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most intriguing and talked about coins among collectors, the 1993 Lincoln 1 cent coin with no visible mint mark. What may look like an ordinary penny could, under the right circumstances, be worth an astonishing amount, with rare examples reportedly reaching values starting around $1.2 million. Let's explore why this coin has captured so much attention, what makes it special, and how you can determine whether you might have one of these rare pieces in your collection at a first glance. The 1993 Lincoln penny appears completely ordinary. It features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, a design that has been in use since 1909. On the reverse, depending on the version, you will find the Lincoln Memorial, which was standard for pennies produced from 1959 to 2008. Millions of these coins were minted, making them extremely common in circulation. However, the real intrigue begins when we talk about the mint mark, or rather, the absence of one. In the United States, mint marks are used to identify where a coin was produced. Typically, pennies from Philadelphia either had no mint mark or, in later years, included a small p. Coins from Denver carry a D mint mark, and those from San Francisco have an S. In 1993, most Philadelphia minted pennies were produced without a mint mark, so technically, a 1993 penny without a mint mark is not unusual on its OWN status. Why are collectors paying such extraordinary prices for certain examples? The answer lies in rare minting errors and exceptional conditions. In the world of numismatics, mint errors can dramatically increase a coin's value. These errors may include double dies, off-center strikes, planchet errors, or unusual surface characteristics. For the 1993 no mint mark penny, the coins that command high prices are not ordinary circulation pieces. Instead, they are extremely rare error coins or coins in near-perfect condition with unique features that set them apart from the billions produced. One of the most valuable variations involves double die errors. This occurs when the coin's design is stamped more than once at slightly different angles, creating a visible doubling effect on the lettering or the image. If a 1993 penny without a mint mark exhibits a strong and clear double die error, its value can increase significantly. Another important factor is the coin's condition. In coin collecting, condition is graded on a scale, with mint state coins being those that show no signs of wear. A 1993 penny that has been preserved in flawless condition, with sharp details, original luster, and no scratches or discoloration, can be worth far more than a circulated coin. Now let's address the claim that these coins can be worth $1.2 million or more. While it is true that certain rare coins have reached seven-figure values at auction, such cases are extremely rare and usually involve unique historical significance or one-of-a-kind minting errors. For a 1993 no mint mark penny to reach such a value, it would need to be an extraordinary specimen, likely featuring a dramatic error, perfect preservation, and strong demand among collectors. In most cases, standard 1993 pennies without a mint mark are worth only their face value or slightly more if they are in excellent condition. However, coins with verified errors or exceptional grading can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The million-dollar range represents the absolute upper extreme and should be approached with careful verification and expert evaluation. If you are wondering whether you might have one of these rare coins, there are a few key steps you should take. First, examine your coin carefully under good lighting. Look for any unusual features such as doubling in the text, misalignment, or irregularities in the design. Pay close attention to the date and the word Liberty, as these areas often show the most noticeable signs of doubling. Second, check the coin's condition. Coins that have been heavily circulated will show wear, scratches, and dullness. Higher value coins typically have crisp details and a bright, original shine. Third, consider having your coin professionally graded. Reputable grading services can authenticate your coin and assign it a grade, which is essential if you are hoping to sell it at a high value. Certification adds credibility and can significantly increase buyer confidence. It is also important to be cautious of misinformation. The internet is filled with exaggerated claims about coin values, and not every listing you see reflects a real sale. Some sellers may list coins at extremely high prices without any verified transactions. Always rely on confirmed auction results and expert opinions when assessing value. Despite the rarity of high-value examples, the excitement of coin collecting lies in the possibility of discovery. The idea that a simple penny could be worth a fortune continues to inspire collectors around the world. It encourages people to take a closer look at the coins they handle every day, turning ordinary moments into potential treasure hunts. The 1993 Lincoln penny without a mint mark serves as a perfect example of how small details can make a big difference. Whether it is a subtle error or an exceptional level of preservation, these factors can transform an everyday object into something truly remarkable. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating coins that has sparked curiosity, excitement, and debate among collectors worldwide. The 1995 Liberty 1 cent, with no mint mark. At first glance, this coin looks completely ordinary. It features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front, a design that has been part of American coinage since 1909. On the reverse, you'll find the Lincoln Memorial, a symbol recognized by millions. Nothing about it screams rare or valuable. And yet, under the right circumstances, this humble coin could be worth a life-changing amount of money. What makes this specific 1995 penny so special? To understand that, we need to talk about mint marks. Mint marks are small letters on coins that indicate where they were produced. In the United States, common mint marks include D for Denver, S for San Francisco, and coins produced in Philadelphia traditionally had no mint mark for many years, including 1995. So technically, a 1995 penny without a mint mark simply means it was minted in Philadelphia. That alone does not make it rare, but here is where things get interesting. Not all 1995 no mint mark pennies are valuable. In fact, millions of them were produced. However, certain rare varieties, minting errors, and extremely high-grade conditions can push the value of this coin to extraordinary levels. And when collectors talk about prices reaching into the hundreds of thousands or even over $1 million, they are referring to very specific and exceptional examples. One of the most talked about variations is the 1995 double die obverse penny. This is a minting error where the design appears slightly doubled, especially noticeable in the inscriptions like Liberty and In God We Trust. To the untrained eye, it might look like a minor flaw, but to collectors, it is a highly desirable feature. These types of errors occur during the die creation process and are incredibly difficult to replicate, making them rare and valuable. Now, combine that kind of error with a coin that is in near-perfect condition, what collectors call mint state, or even better, and you suddenly have something extraordinary. Coins are graded on a scale, with higher grades indicating better preservation. A 1995 penny that has been preserved flawlessly, without scratches, wear, or discoloration, can command significantly higher prices than a circulated one. But can a 1995 no-mint mark penny really be worth $1.2 million? This is where things become both exciting and a bit controversial. While there are claims and listings suggesting such high values, it is important to understand that these prices are often based on extremely rare, unique specimens or speculative listings rather than confirmed sales. The coin market is influenced by demand, rarity, condition, and sometimes even hype. In reality, most 1995 pennies without a mint mark are worth only a few cents to a few dollars. Even the double die varieties typically sell for a few $100s, depending on their condition. However, the possibility that an exceptionally rare or perfectly preserved coin could reach a seven-figure valuation keeps collectors searching, checking, and hoping. And that is part of what makes coin collecting so thrilling. It turns everyday objects into potential treasures. It encourages attention to detail, patience, and a sense of discovery. The idea that something so small and common could hold immense value is what draws people into this hobby. So how can you tell if you might have a valuable 1995 penny? Start by examining the coin carefully. Look for signs of doubling in the text, especially around Liberty and the date. Use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope if possible. Check the overall condition of the coin. Is it shiny, well-preserved, and free from scratches, or has it been worn down over time? Next, consider having the coin professionally graded. Professional grading services can authenticate your coin and assign it a grade, which can significantly impact its value. This step is especially important if you believe you might have a rare variety or a high-grade specimen. It is also a good idea to compare your coin with verified examples online or consult with experienced collectors and dealers. The coin collecting community is vast and knowledgeable, and getting multiple opinions can help you better understand what you have. Another factor to keep in mind is market demand. Coin values are not fixed. They can fluctuate based on trends, collector interest, and economic conditions. A coin that is highly sought after today might not be as popular in the future, and vice versa. While the idea of a $1.2 million penny is incredibly exciting, it is important to approach such claims with a balanced perspective. The true value of a coin lies in its authenticity, rarity, and condition, not just in viral headlines or speculative listings. That being said, stories like these serve an important purpose. They inspire people to look closer, to pay attention, and to appreciate the hidden value in everyday objects. Today, we are diving into one such fascinating piece, the 1995 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark. At first glance, it may seem like just another penny sitting unnoticed in your pocket or coin jar. But what if I told you that under the right circumstances, this tiny coin could be worth an incredible amount? With some claims reaching values starting from $1,200 million, let's explore the truth, the mystery, and the excitement behind this coin. The 1995 Lincoln cent, often referred to as the Liberty 1 cent, features the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. This design has been a staple in American coinage for decades. Most people have handled these coins countless times without giving them a second thought. Now here is where things get interesting. Coins minted in Philadelphia traditionally carry no mint mark. So, a 1995 penny without a mint mark is not unusual by itself. In fact, millions of such coins were produced. However, The true value does not come from the absence of a mint mark alone. Instead, it comes from rare errors, exceptional condition, and unique variations that collectors are willing to pay a premium for. One of the most talked about variations of the 1995 penny is the double die obverse error. This is a minting mistake where the design is stamped twice in slightly different positions, creating a noticeable doubling effect. If you look closely at the words Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, and the date 1995, you may see a distinct shadow-like duplication. This doubling is not damage. It is a genuine mint error, and collectors love these kinds of imperfections because they are rare and difficult to find now. Let's talk about value. A standard 1995 penny in circulated condition is usually worth only 1 cent. Even in uncirculated condition, it might be worth a few cents to a few dollars at most. But if you have a 1995 double die penny in excellent condition, the value can jump significantly, sometimes reaching hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the grade. So, where does the idea of $1,200 million come from? This is where myths, exaggerations, and viral claims enter the picture. In the online world, stories often circulate about ordinary coins being worth millions or even billions. These claims can be misleading or taken out of context. While it is true that some extremely rare coins in history have sold for millions of dollars, a 1995 penny, even with errors, has not been officially recorded selling anywhere near $1,200 million. However, there is an important lesson here. The coin collecting market is driven by rarity, demand, and condition. If a truly unique and previously undiscovered error were found on a 1995 penny, it could potentially command an extraordinary price. That is why collectors are always searching, always examining, and always hopeful. Let's take a moment to understand what makes a coin valuable. First, rarity plays a huge role. The fewer examples that exist, the more collectors are willing to pay. Second, condition is critical. Coins are graded on a scale, and those in mint state condition with no wear or damage are significantly more valuable. Third, demand influences price. If many collectors are looking for a specific coin, its value increases. And finally, authenticity matters. A coin must be verified by a professional grading service to achieve its highest market value. If you think you might have a valuable 1995 penny, here are some steps you can take. Start by examining the coin carefully under good lighting. Look for signs of doubling in the text and numbers. Use a magnifying glass if possible. Next, compare your coin to verified images of known double die examples. This will help you identify whether your coin matches the characteristics of a genuine error. If you believe you have found something special, consider sending your coin to a professional grading service. They can authenticate it and assign a grade, which can greatly increase buyer confidence. Now, let's address the excitement factor. The idea that a simple penny could be worth a life-changing amount of money is thrilling. It captures the imagination and inspires people to start looking more closely at the coins they handle every day. And honestly, that is one of the most beautiful aspects of coin collecting. It turns everyday objects into treasures waiting to be discovered. Even if your 1995 penny is not worth millions, it could still be worth much more than its face value. And more importantly, it could be your entry point into a hobby that combines history, art, and the thrill of the hunt. Imagine going through an old jar of coins passed down from family members and finding a rare piece hidden among them. That sense of discovery is what keeps collectors passionate and engaged. In conclusion, the 1995 Liberty 1 cent with no mint mark is a common coin with the potential for uncommon value if it features rare errors like the double die obverse. While claims of values starting from $1,200 million are not supported by verified sales, the coin still holds significant interest in the collecting community. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating modern coins in circulation, the Liberty 1 cent 2000 with no mint mark. A coin so ordinary at first glance, yet for collectors and enthusiasts, it holds an extraordinary story and an astonishing potential value that has captured global attention. Let's begin by understanding what makes this coin so special. The year 2000 marked the beginning of a new millennium, a time filled with anticipation and change. The United States Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies that year, each bearing the familiar profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. These coins were struck in multiple mint locations, primarily Philadelphia and Denver. Typically, coins from these mints carry identifying mint marks, a small letter indicating where they were produced. However, the Liberty 1 cent 2000 with no mint mark is different. Coins without a mint mark are usually associated with the Philadelphia Mint, which traditionally did not include a mint mark on pennies for many years. So at first glance, a 2000 penny without a mint mark might seem completely normal. But here is where things start to get interesting. Among the vast number of coins produced that year, a very small number exhibit rare characteristics that set them apart from standard issues. These differences may include striking errors, unusual metal composition, or exceptional preservation quality. When these factors combine, they create what collectors call a perfect storm of rarity and desirability. Now, let's talk about the condition.in coin collecting. Condition is everything. A coin that has never been circulated, meaning it has not been used in everyday transactions, can retain its original shine, detail, and surface quality. These coins are graded on a scale, with the highest grades reserved for nearly flawless examples that a Liberty 1 cent 2000 with no mint mark in pristine, mint state condition can attract significant attention. But when you add rare minting anomalies or error features, the value can skyrocket. Some of these rare coins have been reported to reach astonishing valuations, with estimates starting around $1,200 and, in exceptional and highly debated cases, speculative claims reaching into the million-dollar range. While such extreme valuations depend on unique factors and verified authentication, they highlight the excitement and intrigue surrounding this coin. What kind of errors or features should you look for? Collectors often search for double die errors, where the design appears slightly duplicated due to a misalignment during the minting process. Others look for off-center strikes, unusual coloration, or differences in weight that suggest a rare composition variation. Another key factor is luster, the way the coin reflects light. Original mint luster, combined with sharp details in Lincoln's portrait and the lettering, significantly increases a coin's desirability. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell if you have one of these valuable coins? The first step is to carefully examine your coin under good lighting. Look closely at the date, the absence of a mint mark, and any unusual features. Even small details can make a big difference. Next, consider having the coin professionally graded and authenticated. Reputable grading services evaluate coins based on strict standards and provide certification that confirms their condition and authenticity. This step is crucial if you believe your coin may be valuable. Let's also address the reality behind the hype. While stories of million-dollar pennies capture headlines and imagination, it is important to approach such claims with a balanced perspective. The majority of 2000 no mint mark pennies are still worth only a small amount above face value. However, the thrill lies in the possibility, the chance that one rare coin could be hiding in plain sight. And that is exactly what makes coin collecting so exciting. It is a treasure hunt that anyone can participate in. You do not need expensive equipment or advanced knowledge to get started. All you need is curiosity, patience, and a keen eye for detail. Over the years, countless collectors have discovered valuable coins in the most unexpected places: old jars, inherited collections, or even everyday pocket change. Each coin carries a piece of history, and sometimes that history comes with incredible value. The Liberty 1 cent 2000 with no mint mark represents more than just a coin. It symbolizes the idea that hidden treasures can exist in the most ordinary objects. It reminds us that value is not always obvious, and that careful observation can reveal something truly remarkable. As interest in rare coins continues to grow, so does the demand for unique pieces like this one. Collectors around the world are constantly searching for additions to their collections, and coins with intriguing stories or unusual characteristics are always in high demand. The next time you come across a penny, do not dismiss it too quickly. Take a closer look. Check the date. Examine the details. You might just be holding something far more valuable than you ever expected. And if you do find a Liberty 1 cent 2000 with no mint mark, especially one in exceptional condition, you could be looking at a coin that is not only a piece of history, but also a potential investment. If you want, I can also turn this into a viral style script with hooks, retention tricks, and dramatic pacing for YouTube growth.